Oklahoma City Thunder team. Mad people are high on 44.5 over under. They finished 40 and 42 last year as the 10th seed.
Over. They have to. To justify the hype, they have to get over 45. They have to get 45 to justify. They got to get to 45.
Y'all, I'm gonna say this right now. Y'all OKC apologists out there. Y'all better hope and pray. I don't want to hear this team makes the play-in and we all throw them a goddamn fucking parade. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I'm done with the Shai Gilgeous top 10. That man should not be named or mentioned in that conversation ever again if they don't make the playoffs. Playoffs.
He's still going to be named. He's still going to be named in those
I don't care. I'm calling them all out then. Like I did this year. So y'all better hope the Oklahoma City Thunder make the playoffs. Not the play-in. Playoffs. Next up, we've got the Dallas Mavericks at 43.5 over under.
Under.
Wow.
I don't believe in Dallas at all.
Again, I'm going to go over, but I'm going to say 44 or 45 wins. I'm not going to go massively over. They might finish 43. It's not something I'm massively high on. Next up, we've got the Atlanta Hawks going down a little bit at 41.5. We got that. They finished 41.
I'm not going to lie. The Hawks used to be boring in mid. They're not just boring. They're not mid anymore. I love the offense that Quinn Snyder's implemented for them. I love Jalen Johnson. I think they got Onyeka Okongwu on a freaking steal, 62 mil, especially for a young guy like that. I think it's an addition by subtraction getting rid of freaking John Collins. I'm gonna go over. I think they get back to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I had them. I forget exactly where I had them finished, but I'm gonna say over. I think that they.
I think they firmly get back to the playoffs this year, not a play-in team. They were in the playoffs last year.
I think that they get to 43, 42 wins, something around there. Atlanta Hawks over 41.5. Next up, we've got the Indiana Pacers at 38.5.
People high on them. Low for Indy, and I love them. I'm gonna say over because I think they can get to. I think they can get to 500.
Okay, they can get to 41. I'm gonna say over. I think I'm gonna agree with you. I think they get to 41, 40 wins. Next up, we've got the Brooklyn Nets at 37.5.
Under.
They finished 45 and 37 last year, but I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, after that trade, there was I forget the record they have after the trade. It was
the Mikal Bridges led offense was 29 out of 30.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say, I think that they can get to 38 wins. So I'm gonna say 38 for the Brooklyn Nets. Slightly over.
Chicago. Listen, if we're saying the Celtics and the Bucks are gonna be 60-win teams, and like the Heat are gonna win 50 games, and the Knicks are gonna win like 47. Some teams got to lose a good amount of games, and I feel like they're gonna be.
I'll take. You know what? Brooklyn Nets under 37.5. Next up, we've got the Chicago Bulls at 37.5.
Get the fuck out of here.
You want
it? They doubled down and extended Vooch. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. Under.
That's the big three. What you talking about?
Didn't they re-sign Kobe White?
I like Kobe White, actually. I do like him.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Under.
Maybe I fell in this.
This is another year of Patrick Williams having to sit there, be a lottery pick, and have to sit there and be the fourth guy in the offensive pecking order. Behind Zach LaVine, DeMar, and Vooch. Vucevic! Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Big Vooch. He's going under. I think they're going to be right around 37.5. So I'll be safe and bet the under. Another team that a lot of people are high on, young team, a team that I tweeted about Mr. Jonathan about, the Orlando Magic at 37.5. They finished 34 and 48 last year. So can they improve 4 games?
I think they're going to be a play-in team, but the thing is, I think the play-in is going to kind of be a little bit sucky this year, simply because I feel like the top dogs in these conferences is going to beat the shit out of the lower teams.
Yeah.
The top 5, top 6 teams are going to beat the shit out of them lower ones, and you're going to see some teams that are like 30, like the 10th seed is going to be like a 30, 32, 34 win team. And I think Orlando is going to be one of those teams. With that being said, I'm going to take the over. I believe in Paulo. I believe in Franz. Full season of Markel. I believe it. I believe in Anthony. I believe in Anthony Black. I think they did. I think Jet Howard is the shooter they should have drafted. That I think they should. Did they have? Was Grady Dick already picked before? I think Grady Dick was already picked. But Jet Howard is a nice shooter out of Michigan. I think out of Michigan that they have in the roster. I think they fixed some of the problems that they do have, and I think Markel is going to look great in a full healthy season. Wendell hopefully doesn't go. Jalen Suggs took a nice little jump with his shooting last year, and he's great defensively. Hopefully he stays healthy. If they're able to stay healthy, I think it's an over.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be just around 37 wins. I'll say over just for you people out there that are really high on the Magic. So let's hope that they can get over because, a lot of people have been singing their praises lately. And speaking of Mr. Grady Dick, a guy who I'm just truly believe he's either going to be like really, really good to great, or he's going to be an absolute bust. The Toronto Raptors at 36.5.
I didn't even need to hear it under. They have. Let me tell you this right now, because I have a guy that I'm cool with on Twitter. His he has a YouTube channel. I think he has like 40K right now. One of the bigger like documentary style NBA creators named 2for1. He's a Raptors fan, and he loves talking about this team. I'm gonna say this right now. They were struggling last year with Fred as their point guard. They have no point guard. They were struggling hella hard with Pirtle at the 5 in the preseason. You have a full season of that man. They have no shooting. You barely have a bench. Precious Achiuwa is not what you think he is. People talk about Pascal, talking about 3-level. He's not a 3-level scorer. The man can barely shoot. Let's be real here. He's shooting sub 40% from mid-range and shooting sub 35 from 3. The only saving grace is if Scotty Barnes takes a really nice leap. And I think Scotty Barnes' growth is going to be incremental. Like he's going to take a really good little jump and another good little jump. But I don't think he's going to take this gigantic leap. Under.
I hear you there. I'm going to go under for the Toronto Raptors as well. Who's the guy you just named? I was just about to say something. You named Scotty Barnes. Who you named before that?
Precious Achiuwa, Scotty Barnes, Pascal.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Bring up the Patrick Beverley quote. Patrick Beverley, who made a quote recently about saying there's no dogs on the Toronto Raptors. Like if he saw Pascal or OG in an alley, he wouldn't be scared. There's no dogs on it.
Put the dogs in the Sixers. If I saw Patrick Beverley or Joel Embiid down a dark alley, I wouldn't get scared either. Actually, never mind. Joel Embiid is 7 feet. Let me not say that.
100 pounds, fucking mammoth of a man. Next up, we've got the Utah Jazz at 35.5.
Under.
Yeah, under. They're in full rebuild mode, and that's really just where they want to be. Next
is Laurie on a contract year?
I don't know. I thought they signed him.
If they re-signed him, then under. If he's on a contract year, I may go the over because he may go crazy.
Nah, I'm definitely going still under there. But next up, while Romaine is searching that for us, the Charlotte Hornets at 31.5. They finished 27-55.
Oh, he's up for an extension. So
you're going over 35.5. You think they win 36 games or more?
I mean, he's locked in. He's locked in for this year and next year, but they can extend him at the end of this year. I think he's on a gun for an All-NBA team.
Okay.
That's why.
I don't think he's going to make that. But the Charlotte Hornets, where are you going? Under or over, Romaine? 31. Under?
Under.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this is, I believe LaMelo's up for his extension. And like I've said, once he gets that extension, maybe a year or two in, probably just a year, and he's going to be, get me the fuck out of here. Houston Rockets, 31.5, over under.
I want to believe in Houston. I really do, because I love Jalen Green. I think he gets a little too much hate. He's way too young, and I think he's getting the same Anthony Edwards treatment, where the first where they just treat him like shit until they break out. And like I think Dylan Brooks get a lot more hate than he should. But Fred looks awful, dog. He really does. Fred looks bad. Şengün looks a little better, but Jabari looks fantastic. Jabari and Tariq Eason and Almond Thompson over. I'm talking myself into it. I'm talking myself into it too. If they figure out earlier than later to start Almond and make Fred come off the bench, no matter how much money he's freaking making, over.
Okay. 31.5 in the West. They finished 22-60 last year. They've made a couple of moves. You got Ime Udoka. Can he improve them by 10 wins is what you're saying? No, I don't think so. I'm
It's
going
not just
under.
improving by. I don't think improving by 10 wins is the fact that you.
No, that's lit. No, no, no,
You're
no, no, no,
replacing a.
no, no. When I say that, I mean they finished 22 wins last year. The under over is 31.5, so they would have to hit 10
That's
wins.
what I'm saying. But I don't think it's necessarily improving them by 10 wins because it's a whole different roster.
No, that's what I mean. Can those changes, Ime Udoka and all the changes they made, can that give them 10 plus wins?
Oh, I thought you were just talking about Ime himself. Oh, never mind.
I like Ime.
I thought you were just talking about the change of Ime alone and
No,
not
no, no,
anything
no. I was
else.
talking everything in its totality. I like Ime though, as a coach.
Ime's alright.
Ime's a good guy. Hey, listen, he was done wrong about Boston Celtics. I actually
Ime's
believe that. I think he was
he
done
is.
wrong.
No, I agree. But he's a defensive coach, but he has no defensive players other than Dylan Brooks and Dylan Brooks. Tari Eason. Actually, never mind. I was about to say he has no defensive players, but then I thought
How
about
big
Dylan
is
Brooks, Jabari,
the
Ahmed.
Thompson guy? Thompson twin. He was 6'4", 6'6"?
6'6". No, he's 6'6".
6'6"? Okay.
I'm pretty sure
and
he's 6'6".
he'll
I'm pretty
grow
sure he's
into his
6'6".
he'll grow into his man body. Listen, like I said before, and there's a thumbs up, even though I was scratching my
You talk about him. You talk about growing. He's 6'7". Actually, he's 6'7".
Okay, so there you go. So Ime Udoka should be able to make that man a very good defender, if not a great defender.
You talk about a grown man body. I watch how he drives to the rim. That man is bullying some of these guys.
I know. How much does he weigh? How much does he say he weighs?
He's only 200.
Oh yeah, so that's what I mean.
He's only 200.
Man body. He'll be
yeah.
finishing. What do you think? He's probably going to grow into 225, 230 by prime of his career. So
not 230. I think a lot of his game is predicated on his speed and quickness. So I think he should add probably like 15. 215, 220.
220 on the high side. All right, next up, let's go. The San Antonio Spurs, Mr. Victor Wembanyama, Greg Popovich at 28.
Over. I'm not gonna lie, over. The problem with ranking San Antonio for me is I'm looking at Vic right now. I'm like, if he stays healthy this season,
now you're coming.
And his absurd level of play we've seen so far, just how good can the Spurs be? Because Devin Vassell is great, Keldon's great, Zach Collins is good. I'm going over.
Okay, I'm gonna hear you, and I'm fucking stumbling here. I'm in agreement with you. They finished 22-60 last year, like the Rockets. They're not asked to up 10 plus wins, only asked to basically win 7 more games than last year. You still got Pop, who I believe is the best coach in basketball still. And you got Victor, who's going to be the consensus rookie of the year if he plays at the level and plays as many games we all expect. So I'm going to go over 28.5. Next up, final 3 teams. We got the Detroit Pistons at 27.5. Under.
Yeah, look, I have a Pistons fan base, and I was talking them up a little bit, but the more I look at it,
pathetic.
The more they didn't have K the entire year. You're starting Killian Hayes at the one.
Is still
you're starting Killian Hayes at the one. At the end of the year, they were giving James Wiseman starting minutes. Come on, like that's expected. I love Jalen Duren. I love Cade, and I like Jaden Ivey. The rest of that roster, NSR Thompson, Isaiah Stewart is okay.
They get the second.
The rest of that roster. Huh?
They got the second overall pick. The Pistons.
The second pick? What?
When did the Pistons pick?
No, they got the 4th. No, they got the 5th. They got the 5th. They got the second Thompson twin.
Lows, dude. Finished 17.
No, it doesn't. What? Asar's great.
No. I'm saying in terms of where they lasted, because because they're 17 wins. So like in the NFL, they would be getting the number 1 overall pick.
17. Yeah, it was San Antonio. Yeah, Portland shouldn't have been up there. San Antonio, Charlotte, Portland.
Yeah. So Pistons would have finished with the number 1 overall pick, and they could have had a Cade and Victor.
I'm so glad. I'm glad they didn't. I would not want to see Victor on that team. I'm not gonna lie.
Victor and Cade?
I'd rather him in San Antonio.
No, I think for Victor, yeah, he ended up in the right place. So you're going under 27.5. I'm in agreement there with Detroit Pistons. They have been a fucking mess since like what, the mid 2000s, maybe late 2000s was their last hurrah. Next up, we've got the Portland Trailblazers at 27.5. I'm going under. It's fuck Portland for life, and I mean that with my entire heart.
Yeah, I hope it burns. I truly do. I think people are like looking at them as the Utah Jazz, where they come out gunning and then they just slowly taper off the year. I hope they just suck for the entire year. I have absolutely zero, and I mean zero belief in DeAndre Ayton. Like absolutely none. And I hope that's and
I've
I
fallen
hope
off.
it's
I've
and I
fallen
want
off.
it to stay
I've
that
fallen
way.
off on him. I've fallen off on him. Yep.
Yeah,
believe
and
it.
it's gonna stay. It's gonna stay that way. And I truly, truly, truly hope nothing but the worst for that franchise.
Yes. I am in agreement there. It is truly
Barring nothing but the worst, barring any health things. I want everybody to stay healthy, but I want everybody to stay healthy. I want them to still suck.
Just
And I
on
want
the court.
Scoot Anthony. I want Scoot Anthony and Shaden Sharp to find the way out of that franchise.
Oh, they're probably gonna leave. They're gonna leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is truly fuck Portland for life. And that is full Miami Heat bias. I don't really care. I don't care. That I just really mean that. Last
It has
team,
nothing even to do with your fan base. It's literally just your GM. Fuck Joe Cronin.
yeah, it is. It is Joe Cronin too, at the absolute core. Because he fucked you guys on getting what we were gonna offer you, which would have been at least 3 first-round picks, and ruined a chance of Damian Lillard ever coming back to Portland because
I don't think they really care about the fact because they have DeAndre Ayton now and all of that, and they're probably gonna get a nice little return from Malcolm Brogdon if they decide to trade him, which is cool. Still, fuck him.
If he can pass a physical.
I think 1000%. I think they made the right decision in trading him to the Bucks specifically because I think they got more outside of Drew than what they would have gotten outside of trading Tyler. Still, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. Last team, Washington Wizards, 23.5.
Under. Jordan Poole is gonna have a crazy party, but under.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you already saw the clip. I forget his teammate's name. I think it was Adja.
Danny Abdia.
Yeah, Abia.
Abdia.
The weird last. Apologies. His first name's David, right?
Danny.
Okay, I'll just call him Danny.
Deni, I think.
Danny. Apologies, Danny. You already saw him. I don't know if you saw the clip of him while Jordan Poole like jacked up a shot or whatever it was. Already basically.
I don't know why. I don't know why he's getting mad because Danny, he's like a 20.
Because he's a teammate, and it's like, yo, like let's play some bad. Like
you weren't getting the ball when Beal was here. Why the fuck do you care when Jordan's here?
I'm just saying it's just not a good look. That's all I'm saying. It's not a good look. And I feel like we're probably in more for that. But
now when he looked at him and laughed and said, "Nah, nigga, you good?" I'm like, okay, yeah.
I'm going under as well. Jordan Poole, like I said, is probably going to go crazy, but definitely under.